To me, you're a whore, Shuri. That's why I look at you. The way I look at you is based on what you have done. You sucked Dan's dick, and you do not want to talk to me about this.
What are you talking about? I've never seen a newborn show that kind of restraint.
I'm not sure she is a newborn. She's so tame.
Don't antagonize her. She's the strongest one in the house.
Please.
Don't hurt yourself, Emmett.
On three. 1, 2, 3.
Shark attacks are among the ocean's most terrifying ordeals. Sudden, violent encounters where survival often depends on split-second decisions and sheer luck. From fishing trips that turned into nightmares, to divers trapped far below the surface, to sailors facing massive predators in open waters. These real-life incidents reveal just how unpredictable and deadly sharks can be. In this video, you'll uncover chilling accounts that tighten their grip with every passing moment, each one more haunting and intense than the last. The coastal waters off Gansbaai, South Africa, had earned their reputation as one of the world's most dangerous shark-infested regions by 2019. Located approximately 180 kilometers southeast of Cape Town, this small fishing town sat at the convergence of the Atlantic and Indian Oceans, creating nutrient-rich waters that attracted massive seal colonies. These colonies, in turn, drew great white sharks in unprecedented numbers, making the area a hunting ground for apex predators measuring up to 6 meters in length. The region's jagged coastline, with its underwater caves and kelp forests, provided perfect ambush points for these ancient killers. Local fishermen had reported increasingly aggressive shark behavior in recent years, though marine biologists attributed this to climate change pushing prey species into shallower waters. 5 friends from Johannesburg had planned their annual fishing expedition to these treacherous waters, unaware that their adventure would become a nightmare that would haunt survivors for years to come. Thaddeus Pemberton, a 34-year-old accountant, had organized the trip with his childhood friends. Cordelia Blackwood, a 31-year-old marketing executive. Araminta Fairweather, a 29-year-old physiotherapist. Beatrice Thornsbury, a 33-year-old architect, and Lysander Ashworth, a 35-year-old engineer. They had rented a modest 7-meter fishing boat from a local charter company, despite warnings from seasoned fishermen about recent shark activity in the area. The morning of July 15th, 2019, dawned clear and deceptively calm. The group departed from Gansbaai Harbor at 6:30 a.m., their boat loaded with fishing equipment, provisions, and a misplaced sense of security. Thaddeus had purchased the trip as a celebration of his recent promotion, joking that the biggest danger they faced was seasickness. The friends spent the first few hours enjoying the ocean breeze and the spectacular coastline, completely unaware that 2 massive great white sharks had been tracking their vessel from the depths below. At approximately 11:45 a.m., when the boat was positioned 3 kilometers from shore in waters roughly 40 meters deep, the first shark made its presence known. Cordelia noticed a large, dark shadow moving beneath the surface near the stern, initially mistaking it for a seal. Within seconds, a massive great white shark measuring over 5 meters in length reached the surface with explosive force, its jaws snapping shut mere inches from the boat's hull. The impact sent shockwaves through the small vessel, causing everyone to stumble and grab for support. Before anyone could fully process what had happened, a second shark, equally massive and seemingly more aggressive than the first, launched itself at the boat's starboard side. The coordinated attack suggested these predators had been hunting together, an extremely rare behavior that marine experts would later struggle to explain. The second shark's impact cracked the fiberglass hull, and water began seeping into the boat's lower compartments. Lysander frantically tried to start the engine, while Thaddeus grabbed the radio to call for help. But the sharks had only begun their relentless assault. The first shark returned with renewed fury, ramming the boat's hull repeatedly with its massive head, each impact sending vibrations throughout the vessel. The second shark focused on the stern, its powerful jaws clamping down on the outboard motor and thrashing violently from side to side. The boat's hull began to splinter under the sustained attack. Araminta screamed as a section of the deck collapsed beneath her feet, plunging her into the frigid ocean water. The blood-red water immediately attracted both sharks, and within moments she disappeared beneath the surface in a violent thrash of foam and spray. Her terrified cries were silenced almost instantly. Beatrice attempted to throw a life ring to where Araminta had vanished, but the larger shark surged upward, its jaws snapping shut on her extended arm. The force of the bite pulled her overboard, and she too was dragged into the churning waters. The remaining friends watched in horror as their companions were consumed by the relentless predators. The boat was now taking on water rapidly, its hull compromised beyond repair. Cordelia found herself thrown into the ocean when the stern section completely separated from the main vessel. She managed to grab onto a piece of floating debris, but the smaller shark immediately began circling her position. Her desperate attempts to stay afloat were hampered by the aggressive predator, which repeatedly bumped her with its snout before delivering a crushing bite to her leg. Her screams echoed across the water as she too was pulled beneath the surface. Thaddeus and Lysander clung to the remaining section of the boat, which was now little more than a floating wreck. The sharks had claimed 3 of their friends in less than 20 minutes, and the predators showed no signs of retreating. The men found themselves surrounded by debris, blood, and the constant threat of the circling sharks. The distress call Thaddeus managed to send before the radio was destroyed went out successfully, but help was still hours away. The 2 survivors spent the next 4 hours floating in shark-infested waters, using pieces of the destroyed boat as makeshift rafts, while the great whites continued to patrol the area. When rescue helicopters finally arrived at 4:20 p.m., they found Thaddeus and Lysander barely conscious, suffering from severe hypothermia, dehydration, and multiple lacerations. The sharks had disappeared as suddenly as they had appeared, leaving behind only scattered debris and the traumatized survivors. The incident became one of the most documented shark attacks in South African history, with underwater cameras from a nearby research vessel capturing portions of the assault. Marine biologists struggled to explain the coordinated hunting behavior exhibited by the 2 great whites, as such cooperative attacks were virtually unprecedented. The footage would later be used in documentaries about shark behavior, though it provided little comfort to the families of the 3 women who perished. Both